Top story that we are tracking this evening. President Trump calling Prime Minister Modi, wishing him for Diwali. The Indian ambassador to the US, Vinay Quatra, met Trump at the Oval Office, extended his greetings to the president. Indian origin CEOs, including the CEO of Adobe, Shantanu Narayan, were present at the celebrations. Addressing reporters, Trump confirmed that he spoke to Prime Minister Modi and that they have a good relationship. He reiterated that India will not be buying much oil from Russia and that Prime Minister Modi wants the Ukraine war to end as much as he does. In a social media post, Prime Minister Modi thanked President Trump. I quote, "Thank you, President Trump, for your phone call and for your warm Diwali greetings on this festival of lights. May our two great democracies continue to illuminate the world with hope and stand united against terrorism in all its forms," end of quote. Now, this is the fourth phone call between the two leaders since President Trump imposed 50% tariffs on India.
I love the people of India, and we're working on some great deals between our countries. I spoke to the Prime Minister Modi today, as I mentioned before, and we just have a very good relationship. And he's not going to buy much oil from Russia. He wants to see that war end as much as I do. He wants to see the war end with Russia, Ukraine. And as you know, they're not going to be buying too much oil. So they've cut it way back, and they're continuing to cut it way back.
Well, that's President Trump. Sources say trade negotiations between India and the US have been positive. Parikshit joins us now with more. Parikshit, we understand both sides discussing the final contours of that bilateral trade agreement. What's the latest?
Well, yes, we have seen positive negotiations between India and United States on the trade deal. Having said that, there are final contours of the deal which are still being worked out by both sides. And a political consensus would be required at the highest level. Currently, India and US are also discussing an expansion of the trade partnership between the two countries. India's energy imports from the US are already up 60% year on year. And there is a feeling that by the end of this fiscal, it would touch around 24 to 25 billion US dollars. Having said that, can India really stop purchase of Russian oil, as Donald Trump is hinting? According to energy tracking agency Kepler, this is more of a pressure tactic than a reflection of any change in policy stance. Now, as far as India's import of Russian oil is concerned, it currently, in the month of October, stands at 1.4 million barrels per day. 34% of India's oil imports are coming from Russia. It has increased over September by at least 250,000 barrels per day. So Russia's exports to India of energy continues as it is. Kepler analysts are of the view that India can reduce energy purchases from Russia, but that would be a token amount, maybe around 100 to 200,000 barrels per day. When it comes to India's imports from the United States, they have gone up significantly. They currently stand at around 299,000 barrels per day. And this is likely to increase to about 400 to 500,000 barrels per day. But as far as the India-Russia energy partnership goes, it is unlikely to change. And there is going to be practically no possibility of India stopping purchases of Russian oil altogether. Having said that, both sides have set a deadline of concluding a trade agreement by November. Let's see if we can adhere to that deadline and have a deal by December.
All right, Parikshit, many